Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome back, as the Moogle Tombstone event is well underway, and with that the quality of PvP can change tremendously. What I have for you today is an amazing round of Shatter playing the Sage, which will be featured in the next advanced guide. This round was amazing and showcased perfectly what the Sage can bring to the team. I was also fortunate enough to have the Commander Shiro guiding the team, delivering us to a beautiful victory. And feel free to drop your Sage knowledge and suggestions down below. Happy hunting, let's begin. This round does not begin like the typical Shatter game. That Danger Dorito is none other than Shiro, and with such a good commander, I am more than ready to commit to any and all plays. Starting off strong, Shiro guides the Alliance across the cliffs, and past the Adder spawn, leading into one of the strongest flanks you can perform on this map. Shiro is the kind to not waste any time, and to not give the enemy a chance to respond. So as the Sage, I need to be fast with AoE damage, Pneumia, Toxicons, and Phlegmas when the chance arises. The plays are good, but the overall damage from our comp is lacking, meaning for big successful pulls like this, you need to really push without holding back. This included the use of my limit break throughout the match, using my macro to drop it at Shiro's feet. It could start dealing some extra tick damage, and when diving in, protects me from extra range damage. The Sage's limit break right now essentially got a buff without being changed, simply due to the fact we are in a ranged meta. Only enemies within your limit break can harm you and your allies within. The only true threat to watch from ranged classes is their knockback. Fortunately, I use a second macro to reposition the limit break to my feet when required. Right now, we retreat to the Adder's cliff, ready to ambush should they attempt to drop from the cliffs. This is a really good defensive play, as the better way to defend objectives is to not sit on the objective waiting for the enemy team to move in. It is to hold close and even push the enemy back, long before they can ever reach the ice. The Maelstrom may be up 200 score. Do not worry in a match that is first to 1600. The first half of the game is where you want to begin building battle highs, while mixing in objectives when you can. In this opening, the Reds have 200 score, sure, but they have zero progress towards any battle high. One of the biggest mistakes teams make is allowing one team to run rampant. The number one rule for PvP, for you newer players to remember, is that battle highs win games. Thanks to Shiro's earlier play, the Adders were delayed in destroying their own large ice, meaning now the Maelstrom have placed themselves in the worst situation possible. With yellows in front, we are free to flank once again. I am always opening with Pneumia, as there is no time to drop Toxicon beforehand, which would grant an extra 10% damage boost. This way the cast timer goes off right as Salted Earth draws in, right as the Salted Earth draw-in takes effect, while at the same time granting shielding to my team. I can then dive in close for some quick follow-up damage, hit them hard and hit them fast, then fall back even if it looks like your team still has the upper hand. Make the play and rotate out. Fighting in these choke points is messy. With the Reds now out of the way, yellow will be running through, so do not fight there, instead bring them out into the open. This fight is also where I make a play with my limit break for the first time. Using my focus macro on Shiro, I drop my limit break at his feet. The only sad part, being on different teams within the Alliance, he cannot receive the effects. However, this does limit enemy movement through the opening, and allows me to get closer, safe from their range. This is also amazing for forcing out burst and CC. From players who use the target setting, choose closest target. Quickly I notice things are getting rather intense, so I jump back a few feet, in order to reposition the limit break further back. I could not have timed this better. As microseconds later, I am hit by a Reaper's Hysteria. This forced me to walk towards the enemy through my own limit break, and you will notice the insane amounts of damage flying our way, yet I barely took 1000 damage. This is the beauty of Sage. You force your enemies to waste so much, committing every burst and every limit break they have. Gassing themselves out like this left them open to an easy counterplay from the Reds flanking from the side, while being 2 assists short of a battle high too. Battle highs, for anyone unsure, affects the damage you deal, which yes means you destroy ice even faster, and how much you heal from healing actions. You will see later on just how strong this can make the Sage. Right now, Shiro is looking for the best chance to engage. He makes the right call, as both our team and the Adders are too spread. If he engaged here, there is a chance the Red would also dive in too, instead making the better decision to catch these slackers at the choke's entrance. A solid play, but I do unfortunately die, as I misjudged just how many behemoths were placed. Still a good outcome, as the trade-off for the amount of yellows KO'd is more than worth it. and recently there seems to be more and more random hate towards commanders, and it is always by the players who get angry should they lose, which is more confusing when they throw hate against the player trying their best to lead teams to coordinated victories. With a commander on your team, even if your team is compiled of randoms and XP farmers, your chances of winning increase tremendously. I'm not saying blindly follow every word to a T, however give them the chance. 99% of all commanders that I have had the joy of playing alongside of are true spirited PvPers who want to help you all get the win. There is only one commander I personally know of who I would ignore on cooldown, as his attitude is terrible and he loses every game. Even if you do not follow your commanders in, the info they can provide can help you in making different plays, as they keep you informed of the enemy's location. The players you really want to ignore tend to be the ones typing away. Just yesterday, my very first match of the day, I encountered one such player, giving orders before shortly raging and saying GG, I give up. His end score was 1 kill, 4 deaths to 250k damage, which sums up he was a part of a single team fight, who then fed his ass off 3 more times. If you are looking to have a great time in PvP, listen to the advice of your commanders, as they can help you learn a lot about the game mode. If they are that 1%, well, you still have time to change up playstyles, and ignore the idiots typing away. You need only play your role to the best of your abilities. No matter how good players are, in a game mode of 72 players, in a free team format with objectives, you are going to lose. The average win percent in frontline is around 30%. If you are grinding achievements, as long as you play a few times a week, you will obtain most of them within a year. And right now, we are most likely around a month away from patch 7.2, which brings back the secure map, and I have a feeling that either Seal Rock or the game mode rival Wings would then go up for reworks. I am expecting more frontline focused balancing, which hopefully includes some new resistance changes. Overall, we are not far from being in a good state. Ranged and knockback, and most importantly knockback, needs to be toned down. Alongside this, we have new actions coming. Only time will tell how these actions affect PvP overall, but as of right now, the Sage feels amazing. The damage in areas does feel lacking, which is a fair trade-off for how powerful the limit break is. The only thing I would say is the class is not friendly to newer players. A lot of what you do is based on game and map knowledge, and the understanding of what other classes can do. Many plays can be influenced by the meta or a single role in particular. However, if you want to put in the time and the effort, you Sage players might just be the most valued class in PvP right now, and much of what you can do for your team goes underappreciated. So thank you to all you Sage players out there. This was a first look at the Sage before diving into my advanced guide, so if you have any advice, make sure to comment down below. Enjoy the remainder of this round, as there are many big plays, as Shiro guides us to a glorious victory. Happy hunting during the Moogle event, and I will see you all in the next one.